Now this is the Cam Snap camera and it is everywhere. It is one of the most popular cameras of 2025 on social media. It in fact got so popular and sold so much that brands are now selling cheap copies of this everywhere on the internet. Of course with different names. The thing is though, every now and then something comes along on the internet and becomes a viral sensation, becomes a trend. So whenever I looked at it, I thought it was just a gimmick, right? But the thing that really got me was when Time magazine named it as one of the best inventions of 2025. Now I had to get one and see what the hype is all about. Now, as a photographer, I still can't understand the hype around it. Let's start with the looks. Now, this camera does not have the same sophistication or elegance of the cameras of today. Instead, it feels cute. It looks and feels retro, like the film cameras of the 80s and 90s. This panel, for instance, it features a leathery texture, which adds to that vintage feel. The whole package is designed to take you to a time when less was more and friendships were more than just likes and DMs. This camera tries to remind you of an era when quality was a norm and things were made to outlast a generation. However, it is not what you exactly call well made. I mean, listen to this. The shutter button is made of plastic. In fact, the whole camera is made of plastic and does not feel very elegant or well built. It feels cheap. And then there are the specs. You see, this camera offers a 28 full frame equivalent lens with an f1.8 aperture. And all of this is mated to an 8 megapixel 1 over 3.2 type 1 sensor. And the results really let the camera down. I mean, the whole shooting experience is a bit tricky. The photos will almost always come out blurry until unless you glue yourself to the ground and stand like a brick. And even if you do that, the highlights will be blown out when you need them the most. The white balance is colder than Berlin's winters, and overall the photos themselves look warmer than Delhi's summers. The photos really look basic and childish. It looks like they came from a disposable film camera. And here's where things get interesting, because this $60 Cam Snap camera was made to replace disposable film cameras. This camera then is not designed for photographers like us who get high on the idea of a well exposed photo and a million likes on Instagram. This camera is made for people who get high on being in the present and believe in capturing memories worth keeping even if nobody sees them. Now, when it came out in 2023, the Cam Snap camera was designed mainly for kids to take photos during summer camps. Screens were not allowed and disposable film cameras were getting expensive to manage. For comparison, this is a quick snap flash 400 disposable camera. That's quite a big name for something that does little. It costs 17 euros and you can only take 27 shots before it gets thrown away. And then you have to pay more to develop that film. Don't forget to add the effort of sending the film to be developed and getting it back. And this whole process is just for one camera. Now this thing starts to become really expensive if you use several cameras like this for every occasion, like going on vacations, birthday parties, meeting up with friends, or maybe summer camps. Now when you factor all of this, $60 for the Cam Snap doesn't feel too much. Actually it's $70 or maybe more because of tariffs and you know who, but it's still under $100. It's still a good deal. So obviously when this camera was launched in 2023, parents went crazy. But something else happened. Soon after its launch, its retro design, lack of screen and the reusability made it popular among everybody. It soon became a rehab tool for anyone who had overdosed on screen time and wanted to get back into the real world. Now this changes everything. Now if I look at this camera, not as a photographer but as a father of a 3-year-old, everything about this camera starts to make sense. The camera looks very cute and my daughter loves it. The lack of screen actually forces you to experience the moment and being in the present. And then the flash itself, it's an LED flash, right? But it's not too bright to wake up everybody in the night, but it's just enough bright to take a nice photo when you have a bonfire in the evening. It also has a small counter that shows you the number of photos taken so far. And when you are done having fun and if the battery runs out, which it will because you can only take 500 photos in one charge, you can still charge this camera with your laptop using this USB port here. So it's very convenient. It also has a viewfinder that actually works. But this is my favorite, okay? Press this shutter and makes a sound like you are using a toy. This really makes me laugh. This sound alone brings me back to my childhood. Now, this ongoing theme of vintage feel, nostalgia, and reliving the past isn't just limited to how this camera looks or takes photos. You can also see it in the photos themselves. You see, earlier I said that the white balance on these photos just looked too gold and the tones look too warm, right? Well, that is on purpose. The Cam Snap camera actually applies a default filter called the Cam Classic on every photo to give it a vintage film like look. And so, with every photo, you feel like you are creating a memory, you are reliving the past. This camera is just so much fun. This camera really wants you to have fun. Now, I must admit, as a photographer, I always thought that this camera is a gimmick. And I still do. I mean, the quality is not there, the photos are questionable, and the overall package just feels very childish. But if I stop looking at it as a photographer and start looking at it as a father of a 3-year old, then this thing is amazing. The way it looks, the way it feels in the hand, the way it takes photos, the photos themselves, the cute noise that it makes. Everything about this camera makes so much sense. Comparing the Cam Snap to a traditional camera is a bit like comparing a child's drawing to an artwork. On the surface, both are similar, both are paintings, but if you go deeper, their purposes are different. The artwork is all about skill, technique, aesthetics, and perfection. But this is all about fun and happiness. This is all about memories. This camera has really forced me to look at photography in a different way, in a way that everybody can enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I hope you enjoy photography. I hope you keep taking photos. I'll see you in the next one.